The main tools include shovel knife, self-leveling special scraper, saw, glue scraper, rubber hammer, ink fountain, rolling roller, tape line, vertical direction rule, 90-degree square, feeler, 2-meter soft steel rule, rotary drum, sponge roller, knife, spikes, towel, coarse sand skin, electric mixer, self-leveling grinding machine, slotting machine, vacuum cleaner, hairbrush, moisture content tester, hardness tester, detection thermometer, small hammer, etc. Floor construction. Preparation before construction. Keep the concrete base smooth, solid, dry, clean, oilless, and without any cracks. There shall be no pitted skin, superfluous sand, and crack defects, and keep roughness of 2 meters by feet, with the positive and negative error no more than 2 millimeters. Floor detection. Test temperature and humidity with temperature hygroscope. The temperature of ground and indoor is advisable at 20 degrees. Test base moisture content with tester, whose moisture content should be less than 5%. The strength of the base should be no less than the standard of C20, or it will be strengthened by suitable self-leveling. Surface hardness of grass roots should be no less than 1.2 MPa with hardness tester. Attentions. It can be constructed after finishing indoor decoration work, including painting. The floor should be put in rooms, ready for decoration 24 hours before laying to adapt to room's temperature when it is constructed in winter or summer. Construction process. Pre-processing of flooring. Requirements of floor: clean, dry, oilless, sandless, and crackless, and the surface feels smooth. Using floor polishing machine with appropriate diaphragm, which is more than 1 kilowatt, to burnish the floor and remove paint, glue, and protuberant, loose and hollowing plot. Clean the floor with industrial vacuum, which is no less than 2 kilowatts. Detecting the corner to make sure there are no cracks, scallops, or cavities. Self-leveling construction. Backing. Absorptive base, such as concrete, cement mortar planishing layer. Shall do the close backing by using multi-purpose interface treatment agent, which diluted with water by 1:1 proportion. Non-absorbent base, such as ceramic tile, terrazzo, and marble and so on, should do backing by using compact type interface treatment agent. If base moisture content is too high and it is needed immediate construction, it can use epoxy interface treatment agent for backing processing. But the prerequisite is that grassroots moisture content should not be more than 8% of the standard. Interface treatment agent should be constructed equally, and there is no obvious effusion. The following self-leveling construction can be continued when the surface of the interface treatment agent is dry. Mixing. A mixing self-leveling material with 40 degrees pure water according to the weight of 4:1, then putting them into mixing barrel when dumping and stirring. To ensure self-leveling is well distributed, it needs to be mixed with a special blender and high power and low-speed electric drill. Stirring until no agglomerate uniform slurry. Standing it about 3 minutes, then mixing it again for a short time. Water quantity should strictly be in accordance with the water-cement ratio, because too little water will affect liquidity, and too much will reduce the strength after curing. Construction of self-leveling. Pouring out self-leveling pulp to the floor. It will flow on the ground in self-leveling. The thickness of mixture should be controlled in 2 to 3 millimeters, which should be scraped with a special rule scraper. Constructors should wear special spikes to go into the construction ground and use special rotary drum to roll gently in the surface of self-leveling to release the mixed air and to avoid bubble making to the surface be rough and unsmooth. When finished, please immediately seal the room. Floor glue can be paved after 24 hours. Construction of flooring. After self-leveling being completely dry, it's time to grind, polish, and clean the ground. According to the building to confirm the baseline and seek out the center point, and then taking 90 degrees with angle rule to determine perpendicular bisector, and popping the baseline with ink fountain. Choosing corresponding glue and spreading plate according to different performances of the floor, about 20 minutes later, when the water is slightly volatile, that is, when touched, it is not sticky, it's time to lay the floor. The floor should be kept aligned, and there should be no crack between two pieces of floor. Flooring should be laid from top to down place, and it should be pressed slightly to make the floor close to the ground. In the glued area, it is better to be finished construction within 60 minutes. When finished the around edge, the floor must be laid on the last finished piece of floor. Make two pieces of floor connected perfectly, and then take another floor as initiating, one side close to the wall, another side cut with a knife along its edge. Then break it along the tangential and put it on the ground against the wall. After all round edge construction completed, cutting debris must be thoroughly cleared away, with cylinder rolling along the line, making the non-connected edge join completely and flat. And then rub up all the floors with a wet cloth. When some dirt still exists after the floor dried, please use a small amount of mineral spirits, clean it gently, rub it with clean water again. After installation, first step is removing all blot, and then maintain the surface with acrylic resin water wax to make the floor tile bright. Daily clean with clear water is okay. Installation of click flooring. Ground requirements. Floor needs to have been completed on flat ground. If the original ground had been made level by using senior plaster, and the flatness is 2 meters by fleet with positive and negative error, is no more than 2 millimeters. We need not use self-leveling cement, mortar, and glue for curing. We can directly pave the PVC flooring on the original tiles, and need not tilt the original tiles. Meanwhile, we can use the glue pave the flooring with reference to the above floor, with reference to the above floor laid process to make them click well and more fixed on the ground. Construction process. Start paving from the corner and put the tongue side against the wall. Keep 10 millimeter gap between the wall and floor shortage. Put the next tile and the first piece of short edge alignment. Push the tile with force. Do the same until the first row is done. The last one should be cut into suitable length. Keep a 10 millimeter gap between the wall and the floor short edge. Use the rest piece floor to pave the next roll, and this floor should be at least 300 millimeters. Pave a new row of the first floor of the tongue edge alignment before a row of fluted edge, at certain angle, and press the floor forward and at the same time laid on the ground. Pave the floor of the short side and mount it before floor to a certain angle, and fold. Ensure that the board before the position and the floor of the formation of a lock. Slightly raise the floor, with the same along a mounted floor together, about 30 millimeters. Its pressure into the front row and put down the current 3 rows of finish installing, adjusting the distance between the floor and metope to 10 millimeters. Continue installation according to the above method until the end.